So Anthony HOUSEFATHER, who of course has been in the news a whole lot over the last couple of weeks, now of course in the wake of the House of Commons issue, the scandal, if you will, that has forced the Speaker of the House to step down. We want to try to find, a lot of people are asking the question, well, what happens next? How is this process going to work to replace Anthony Rota? Anthony was kind enough to come on and explain this to us. Anthony, thank you for being here this afternoon, as always.
Thank you so much, Aaron and Tasha, for having me.
Explain how this process works. I understand it's a secret ballot, right?
It is. The way it works is that every member of the House is automatically a candidate unless they withdraw their name, because nobody's ever supposed to run for Speaker. They're actually supposed to reluctantly take the position. So nobody actually puts forward their candidacy. Everyone else just withdraws theirs. So for the moment, all 338 names are on a list, and then we will all sign forms if we don't want to run withdrawing our name. Those people who are still candidates on Tuesday morning of next week will each make a speech to the members of the House, and then the members of the House will have a preferential ballot where they will elect a Speaker, meaning you will put your choice number 1, choice number 2, choice number 3, 4, however many choices you want to take. And until somebody secures a majority, the last name on the ballot will be eliminated, and their votes will be reallocated to their second or third choices, depending.
So that's on Tuesday. What happens between now and then?
Those people who are interested in being Speaker will be heavily lobbying all of the MPs from all of the parties, because this is a position not chosen by the Prime Minister or the government. It's chosen by the whole House. So I have a number of colleagues who are anxiously running for this position and, doing their best to lobby for votes.
It's not an easy job, though. I would imagine it's pretty all-consuming. And I've heard the pros and cons of having someone from your own party be the Speaker. Can you speak to that, please, Anthony?
Sure. I mean, it's a very important job because you're running the House functions. You're running the Parliamentary Protective Services. You're running the administration of the building. You're running the translation, and the interpretation. You're running the budget. You have a lot of responsibilities as Speaker of the House or the Senate. And most important, in making sure that you protect the rights of members, allow them to have vigorous debates, keep the rules, and make interpretations when people, have complaints. It's a very, very legalistic administrative job, but it's one that really is divorced from policy, meaning when you take that job, you're sacrificing your right to speak out your views about bills. And so people need to make a very stark choice. It's a very important role, but for example, for somebody like me who's not near the end of my career, but rather in the middle of it, it would be something that would be totally uninteresting because I would be unable to speak out on behalf of my constituents or the English-speaking community when something like C-13 happened, for example.
Of course, with all due respect, when you do, I mean, we know what happened there. You lost the parliamentary secretary job, but that's the price. Can I ask you, though, is that something you expected would happen?
I honestly, as I told you when we talked about it in the spring, I had no real expectations. I understood that these jobs are at the pleasure of the Prime Minister, and that whether or not it would cost me personally, the vote was more important. Speaking out on behalf of my constituents was more important, and that was something that I still feel. And in fact, I've never felt 1 ounce of regret about how I voted.
Can I ask, too, have you heard from your constituents? Because I can tell you we have.
I have been so flattered and so, honored to have received so many supportive calls and emails from not only my own constituents, but, English-speaking Quebecers from across the province. It's been, when something, sort of upsetting happens to you when you're down and you get all of those people reaching out, it definitely changes your perspective on things.
Can we ask, just for your reaction, how disappointed are you that Anthony Rota had to step down and that this whole situation unfolded as it did?
Oh, on the Anthony Rota side, of course, he needed to step down based on what happened. But I also wanted to point out that I've, known him for the last 7 years as a colleague. He is a very kind, fine man. He made a terrible mistake, but I hope his career won't only be defined by this moment, but he absolutely needed to step down because this was an international embarrassment for Canada and definitely incredibly hurtful to the Jewish community, all those communities who, from Eastern Europe who had people that were killed by the Nazis, the Roma, gays and lesbians, and Ukrainians across the world. It was just a terrible mistake. And of course, it deeply embarrassed his colleagues who, stood up and clapped for somebody who fought with the Nazis. I was fortunate not to have been in the House at that moment, so I didn't stand up. But, I can't imagine, based on what the Speaker said, where he said this man is a hero, that you wouldn't have stood up. So I'm just lucky I wasn't there.
Look, we're going to run out of time. I will ask you, as you laid it out a minute ago, you're saying you have to pull your name out of contention for this job. So I'm going to assume by what you said, Anthony, that you will be doing that, or have you already done that?
Already did that this morning. You sign it. So you can either sign a paper or you can send an email.
Okay, and you've already done that?
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I would ask you, what's a job like that pay a Speaker of the House? A little bonus? What is it? Do you know what it's worth?
I honestly don't.
Oh.
I mean, every member of Parliament gets X amount,
right,
which I believe today is something like $180,000, and then there's stipends for
other jobs,
all these offices that like being a cabinet minister or a speaker. And the Speaker, I'm sure, would be on the higher side, but I have no idea what it actually is.
Okay. One last thing, because I'm so nosy. Since this whole thing happened with you losing your parliamentary secretary, have you actually had a one-on-one with Justin Trudeau?
I have not had a one-on-one with him. No, I have not had a one-on-one.
Just curious.
Are you hoping to have one?
Maybe dinner, lunch?
I mean, he's got to know you're disappointed.
I've seen him multiple times, and I think given what's happened last Friday, he's kind of busy right now, but I'm sure I will have a conversation with him.
Anthony, I know it's heartening to hear that people reached out to you, not just from your own constituents, your own riding, but from across the province. So good for you. I think we all agree you did the right thing. Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, guys. Great to speak to you.
Take good care. Anthony HOUSEFATHER, no, he will not be running for
His name did
Speaker
come
of
up.
the House. Yeah.